Peace. Oh. In the streets. Hi everybody, and welcome to Frostpunk. I have been talking about this on stream non-stop. I have been talking about this in the recordings constantly. This game is remarkable. You can just hear from the soundtrack alone that it is already taking me by storm. In the most literal sense too. Because this is not your mammy-pappy city survival game. No. This is building a city in turn-of-the-century London during an apocalyptic blizzard. This game takes you on so many moral choices, whether you should make children work for you or pamper them. Whether you should allow unions to be built or burn your workers to death. This is Frostpunk. And this is the Emerald Bear channel. Thank you for watching and tuning in with me. We're going to start off without any explanations. We're going to let the game tell us what else is going on. I know what happens in this. A lot of people who's probably watching this video does know as well. It's a very, I wouldn't say old game, but it is an old game. Now if you excuse me, I'll sneak back behind me real quick.
We roam the still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old.
Well, I'm here. Okay, I was gonna put my
stripped, pride and glory.
But I'm here.
It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We've lost our world to snow. And with it, our last traces of humanity.
So,
we bid farewell to plenty. And for those who remained, came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope that pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step. We knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
So dramatic. Okay, so yeah. This is Frostpunk. Welcome again, everybody. This is, if not it is in the top 3 of my favorite video games I've ever had the experience to play. This isn't like Slay the Spire or Fortnite or Call of Duty or Halo or anything like that. It is its own thing, but you'll see similarities to other games. The best way that I like to describe it is like Sim City, if like the ever approaching death is at your doorstep. So let me just kind of read over this. The game is going to explain everything itself to you. I'll try to explain everything itself to you. I'll do a better job than I do in Slay the Spire because there's a lot of stuff going on in the background. I thought it's fitting to wait for the blizzard that come across most of the Midwest and South to start putting out videos like this. I was going to put them out sooner, didn't get time to record it. If you happen to see, look out your window about the time that this was going to be released, you probably see mountains of snow still out there. Excuse me. So, if you just want to like engulf yourself in the experience of Frostpunk, go outside, strip down to your undies, jump in the snow. Don't do this. This is dangerous. Don't do this at all. Metaphorically speaking, jump in the snow, cover your face in all the frost, come back inside, and just experience this with me. So yes, this is a new home. This is the first experience that is Frostpunk. There are other episodes or chapters within the Frostpunk game, the DLCs essentially, but this is the first one that had ever come out. So let me go ahead and read this to you. So, A New Home. We fled from London and crossed the sea to reach the frozen north. On the way, our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us have managed to reach the site of this generator, only to find it frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst, now that the world as we know it has crumbled. We have to survive. So, this is your game. This is everything that you're ever going to see, beside a few other windows. And this is our objective, to fight the cold. We need to get the generator working. It provides heat and power to other buildings. Without it, we'll freeze to death. Stockpile some coal and start the generator. Oh, why is... I hope that's not getting picked up. That's weird. Okay, so I'm pausing it right now. So time is elapsing. We'll have so many days before this temperature of negative 20 degrees Celsius. Oh, that's a little more advanced right now. Hold on. This temperature of negative 20 degrees Celsius is going to drop by 2 levels, going down to negative 40 degrees Celsius. We, as what we're going to be called as the overseer, or like the foreman, or whatever we are to these little folks that are down here, it is our duty to set enforce laws, start constructing buildings and other things to help these people survive this cold. If we do not do things that please these people, they can overthrow us. They'll completely just kick us out, and then the entire place crumbles in on itself because everyone needs a leader, right? Right? Either way, we have this generator. This generator is providing heat for the entire place here. You'll notice that a lot of this is going to be circle based. When I start to build things, there's already going to be this kind of makeshift donut here. This is going to be the levels of heat that we're going to use to kind of provide comfortability within the workforce, the living environment, everything that we're going to be building for these people. There are different types of stuff here that will go into more advanced, but the most thing that we really need to focus about is coal productions. We have wood, steel, and other types of resources. But coal production is going to be our key to survival. If our coal consumption is higher than production, we start slowly losing power to this generator, and eventually it will completely shut itself off. Now this scenario is different, every scenario is different, but this one is going to be a very basic one. The generator's going to have a couple malfunctions. We're going to have to find solutions to it. We're going to have to make sacrifices and scrap work, but there's going to be several times where we're going to have to make very, very hard decisions and how we're going to be managing this future call. So, before I start babbling on and just gushing about this wonderful piece of art, also, I just want to be a moment of silence because the soundtrack in this game is glorious. It speaks for itself. Whoever wrote the music for this game, whoever designed the sounds, I need them to follow me in my day-to-day life and just make it so melancholy like this is. It is so beautifully depressing and just magnificent. When the days start getting colder and the music starts swelling, when we have to start making those tough decisions and like it hits that spot in your brain where it's just, it's so good. It's so good. I'm gushing still. So let's just start. Let's start, okay? I have it paused for a reason too, because we need to start getting some coal piles. We have 30 wood and 10 steel, so I'm gonna go a little advanced. We go to resources. This is a gathering post. It costs 15 wood, 5 steel, so we can build 2 of these. This gathering post has an AoE. Everyone assigned to this gathering post, you see these kind of highlighted white spots. There's a coal piles, steel piles, wood scraps, stuff like this that just kind of are necessary to be built. Now, eventually we'll get like coal mines, wood, lumber mills, steel mines, stuff like that. But right now, as in the early game, our main source, and let's just make sure, those are wood crates, steel wreckage, wood crates. Our main source of like resources are these like very limited supplies of coal, steel, and wood. Now, I could just go straight to the coals, because there's 2 piles here. Our coal production would be very, very high. Our coal production does not need to be high right now. What we will need is steel and wood production very, very soon. Luckily, there's a bunch of wood and steel here. So I think what I'm gonna end up doing is just building this here. Also, a big point is this building provides insulation. So the people who are out there working aren't just working in the damn cold. They're actually working with a roof over their head and an ability to stay warm. Now, you'll notice this little icon over them when you start building something. That means they need to have a road connected. The roads, if you can see here, are very makeshift, but there's these steam vents that are underneath the wooden planks. And just first off, the art in this is also just gorgeous, because there's little details like this where you can see the steam vent kind of just poking out of the road. That steam vent is their connection to the heat. That steam vent is their life source. So if I were to connect, and I can make this very, very neat-like with this, I need wood. So I'm probably gonna have to scrap this bit here, just so I can make the road connect. It's gonna take 10 wood just to craft that. So it makes little markers here, and these people start working. You'll see very, very soon how this like working mechanic is set up to be. So let's see. It doesn't really tell me right now. I'm sure it will. Oh, yeah, it does right here. So let's pause this while I explain this to you. Right here is our population. We have, excuse me. We have 50 unemployed workers, 15 unemployed engineers, which are just like college trained workers. Like if you were to put it in real life, like they got a degree, basically. They can do everything that a worker can do, but they have like specifics that they can only work in. And then you have 15 children. Like I said before, this game is made of really hard choices. Some of those choices, you may have to put the children to work. Excuse me. Those choices are decided in here, the Book of Laws. You have adaptation. It's the only thing that's open to us right now. Emergency shifts. Emergency shifts, sometimes we have to concentrate on the task at hand, and that cost of everything else or die. After introducing this law, another law cannot be passed for 18 hours. And that's going to be true for most of the laws that we pass. So we'll have a new ability. You can force workers in any active facility to work for 24-hour shifts. But the emergency shift will rise with discontent, and so on and so forth. There are others, like we can also assign fighting arenas. It reduces discontent, but it also produces injuries. We can do their food additives, so we can either make them grow like gruel like soups, or put sawdust in there. It is terrible things. Even this radical treatment or sustain life. We can leave them amputated and out to die. There's about a 30% of the gravely ill will be treated in medical posts will be left as amputees. Or the gravely ill will be kept alive but untreated in medical posts. Hope will rise, but discontent will also rise. Hope and discontent is going to be your good and evil that you're fighting with. Cemeteries or corpse disposals, child labor, child shelters, and then even furthermore, so expanded shifts, working 16-hour shifts, public housing, dueling laws, all that. It just makes this game so... I hate that Windows sound. Why is it going when I hit the spacebar? I've only got connected to the game. Oh, whatever. But yeah, this game has set a course. I'm going to go a little bit faster just so that they can build this quickly. You got to build a road to it first, then they can build it. Really, they don't have to, but because I have the road and it connected together, they're just going to go as they come. But here's your discontent. Here's your hope. It is now 1100, almost 1200. And the first day, they're going to have the first gathering post. And I'm going to max that with workers, so that coal consumption. But you see right here, this is a little easy little tidbit about like how comfortable people are going to be. Once this drops, this drops. You'll see that from here. This is a very easy tool to just see how your people are living and how comfortable they are. This light blue area right now is they're chilly. Every building that they're in is livable, and red is that they're very comfortable. Once we get the power working, we can make that happen. But right now, we have to wait for the workers to come in. We're making at least 24 coal an hour. There is 1,000 coal here. Everything is stated right there. We can even see the specific names. In fact, we can select this name and rename them ourselves. We can be that specific in this and be that devoted to these unspecific workers that we'll never see again unless we pay attention to them. So you can be as developed in that as you possibly can be. You can be as distant from this as you possibly can be. Being the distant part, it kind of makes you feel more at home with this game. So we just gotta wait for the coal to add up, and then we'll turn the generator on. So we're making 24 coal an hour. Soon we'll be able to turn this on. So we'll turn it on to steam level 1. We'll go back to full speed, and you see how the snow starts evaporating, and we are now at a more comfortable and chilled environment. Now, I really hate that. After this recording, we're going to fix that. I'm sorry, I didn't know that was going to be a thing. Now, that being said, we still need to get wood, we still need to get steel. These people are going to have to be out here in the chilly environment. They are at risk for frostbite and other diseases that would make them ill. So I put all my workers, all my engineers at work, and yet there's still things out here that need filling. There's no unemployed adults. Our coal consumption, if we come to here, we're consuming 144 a day, we're producing 240 a day. So we are definitely in the green. We have no issues as of right now. However, we will soon start developing issues. This right here, we have 80 homeless. These houses only provide 10 homes. We have to build at least 8 of those. I am very particular about this. It's kind of like, not really an OCD thing. I just really like to have them, oh, and there's our first event. I really just like to have them in like a neighborhood area. Okay. A word of advice. Work is needed. There's so much work to do and not enough hands to do it. A quick way of addressing this problem is to put our children to work. Open the book of laws. So it's immediately going to take us to the law that is relevant to that event. So we can either force a child into doing some of the lesser tasks. So they won't be able to go into like the sawmills once we get the sawmills up, or the steel mills, or the coal mines. But we can have them go out and do some of the lighter work like buildings or gathering coal out in the frosts or stuff like that. Or we could put them into child shelters. Children will be safer if they stay in the shelters during the day, and they won't cause any mischief. Hope will rise, providing all children with a place in a child shelter gives a permanent hope bonus. So that is just a permanent boon to us. However, this is a permanent boon to us because we have extra hands providing work. I never like doing this. It's going to sound like a white knight kind of perspective here. You're going to get a lot of that from me from this channel. I don't like going down this road. Never do. Every time that I have that option, I always pick the lighter side. I'm a paladin in D&D. What do you expect? So I will always go child shelters. You don't have to. There is a good path. There is a good path for having child laborers. However, just not something that I'm willing to do. This is apple juice, children. So, as we're building this, as we're waiting for the wood to build up, there are several things we have to keep in mind. Look, after we did this law, they'll talk about it. Kids could do something useful. So there's going to be people who are always argumentative with your decisions, as they are in real life. So now we have this side objective. If this doesn't get done within a certain time, our hope drops. But we have to build a child shelter. We also have to stockpile at least 200 coal, which we're already doing, thanks to this. What we could do, instead of building the rest of the houses, is build that last gathering post. Keep people out of the cold, and get it to where we can actually start producing more stuff more efficiently. And I believe that's what we're going to do. I'm not hitting the spacebar again because I hate reloading. So here's the thing. This is going to stay idle. We do not have builders. All of these are going to be staying idle. Our builders are unemployed workers. So if I do want to, I can take workers off of, you don't have any. I can take workers off of this and this side. Or, much easier idea, I could take workers off of this side. It's already lesser. There's no need. It had 10, it wasn't working at full production anyways. Those 10 workers, I hit it. Those 10 workers will go here, they'll build, because there's nothing else that they can do. Now, right now, they're assigned over here. And it does it automatically. We don't have to wait for their characters, like their sprites, to walk all the way over there. It just does it, which is something that is also very agreeable that I have with this game. Like, because pathing in AI can be very, very idiotic sometimes without, you know, the intent of that to being met. So it's very nice to just have the ability to be like, hey, do this thing. Okay, it's getting done. And we don't have to wait for Christopher Payne to come over there.
End of shift.
Now here's the thing. It's end of shift. It's 1800, so everybody is technically unemployed. Everybody's gonna start building whatever is available. At the same time, we do not have production. Because 1800, the shifts are over. That being said, we also don't have our housing units. Okay, so now we could take all the workers off of this, and now all of these piles will be worked on at the same efficient rate as if I had 15 workers in there at one time. So this gathering post is an amazing grab early on. We should have enough coal to last us through this night. We should be able to be fine. Some of our people are going to be homeless, but that's something we're going to have to deal with for right now. We'll have 40 people living in tented areas, but once that gets built, you'll be able to see that. And there's shoddy constructions of tents. But as the night comes over, you'll start seeing like the frost is going to start being set. And if I zoom out, that's another thing I really like. They're in this pit. Like they've stumbled across this pit. This is where like they originated from. Their sled, their automatic sled. They built this elevator shaft to come all the way down here and found this generator. There's a scenario for how this generator got here. There's a scenario for how the world ended up like this, where everything is green and not frostbitten. Until it is. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that it will eventually start alluding to. There's only theories of how the world became like this way. Is it the reverse of global warming? Did the sun turn itself off? Did the polar magnets get flipped and switched around? Like, there's a bunch of stuff that is theorized, but nothing that's been really confirmed that I've seen. Now, that could be wrong. If anyone wants to comment on that, they can. But the reason why I'm playing this game now, other than, you know, the blizzard that just came through, Frostpunk 2 is out, and I have never played it. As much as I love Frostpunk 1, I have yet to play Frostpunk 2, and I think my very first playthrough with Virgin Eyes to play through together with you guys will be amazing. I think like we will experience new things together that I have never dreamed imaginable with game like this. I never thought I would be into Frostpunk, SimCity-like stuff like this until I met this game. It is astounding. I have spent so many hours playing so many different scenarios in so many different ways. Okay, so I have been missing this, so my bad. This is our tutorials. There are little hints that pop up on the left here that tells us things. So we could use the WASD, we could use the Q and E to rotate, we can use the mouse click to drag, we could do right click to drag, like there's your other stuff. Huh. That's weird. And this is what I told you about the resources. So you'll need coal to power the generator, wood steel is necessary for construction, steam cores, which is not something I really got into, are a key part for advanced buildings, and then raw food is used for food rations. We haven't gotten to food consumptions yet. That's going to be a scary bit because food is life. I'm sorry. Temperature. We got into this. I touched base on this a little bit. Just know we want to stay above chilly. Anything from cold on is very hazardous. Chili is already dangerous. This is hazardous. This is life-threatening. This is deadly. Then we got controlling time, construction. We know about ballot. Well, ballot placement just means that can be built there as long as something's not in the way. Got the generator itself, how to turn it on, how much coal is being used. We can have an overdrive eventually once we discover that. And the overdrive can make the thing explode, actually. And then cold homes, infirmaries. We got medical posts, stuff like that to treat our sickly. And there's a bunch of stuff. It's going to explain it to us. We already have one sickly person. They're at home, they're comfortable. It's very low risk of falling ill. We have 2 sickly people now, who's probably... You're in a tent in a comfortable environment. Your workplace is the wood crates, though. I thought I got rid of the wood crates. Where is spawn? Okay, I definitely don't need my engineers. I've already read that. We can let her talk now. Okay, it is now 0500. It's about to be 0600. I believe work starts at 0600. You'll hear the foghorn. Sorry, maybe it's 08. Yes, so 06 to 08 is free time. 08 to 06 is work time, and then free time, sick time. Really, I've seen them work, like building constructions through sleep time. So basically, in their free time, they will do odd jobs, as in like building constructions that you have set. So if I were to have a tent here that needs to be constructed, they will build the tent. Everyone pitches in to build the tent, apparently. So we'll have to wait another hour before they start going out the coal mines, but we'll have 4 hours of coal still remaining. I'm going to go back to normal speed once this goes. There we go, and we should be seeing that coal rise. Yes, and now we should be seeing all this rise. Excuse me again. So I believe our next thing that I want to do is probably going to be this cold shelter for the children. Just to get it done and get that hope boost. Some of these are going to be very time sensitive. We can set up a new law as well. So we can keep going down the children's law. So we could do medical apprentices. Education is key to our future. Let's teach our children medicine so they can help with the sick. Children from child shelters will help at medical facilities, raising their efficiency. Or we can do engineer apprentices. Children from child shelters will help at workshops, speeding up research. I am partial to the medical field, so this is usually what I pick. I do like this. Research is key. So we will talk about research when we start unlocking stuff. So let's keep going. We still need a little bit of steel. Get that going. And a little bit of wood. So we'll have to wait until that gets there. Again, we're having 2 steel an hour, 4.5 wood, 8.5 wood an hour. It's maybe a little bit slower with productivity when it comes to that stuff. However, I have 30 unemployed? That can't be. I did not know that. Still need to construct that. Nope. Continue. Come on. 9 wood. It don't take that long to construct, to gather wood. 7. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna be snorting. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I got over this thing. If y'all... Nah, I'm not gonna talk about that because that's kind of disgusting. I'll talk about that on the live stream tonight. I thought I did get over this. Whatever this is, cold, flu, it's not COVID, because apparently I tested negative so many times at work, so it definitely felt like COVID is whatever I had, it felt like COVID. I had like all the symptoms I had when I first had it. I got it twice. So the first time I had it, sorry, it was the second time I had it where I had the bad symptoms. The first time I had it, I don't know why I'm looking at myself when I can look at you. I didn't feel anything, like nothing. I didn't get any symptoms whatsoever. I heard everybody boo-hooing how bad it was, and I was just sitting here like, oh, I got the sniffles, and I came up positive. The second time I had it, it's like my muscles were lagging. Like, it took forever for me to grab my arm to grab the ice water that was on my bedstand. I couldn't do anything. My wife, like, babied me. She made sure that I had everything that I could ever have, like, right there next to me, and she was, like, in the thick of it with me. And I'm pretty sure I gave it to her that time, but I don't remember, to be honest. A lot of it was me sleeping, a lot of it was me hacking, like, mucus up. Like I said, it's nasty, so I'm not gonna draw you with all the fine details of that. But look, okay, so good. We have enough. Hey, we don't have enough. Oh yeah, we need like 2 wood. We almost have enough. It's almost 1800 though. Gosh. Okay, pause. Let's max this out. So we are still going to be gathering. So we have about 4 steel an hour, 8, just about 8.5 an hour of wood. I like this better though because it keeps my people from getting ill. The less ill people get, the better. So how do I rotate this? Even the buttons. Okay, it's mouse click. Or center mouse wheel, the mouse wheel. That's where you rotate buttons. Okay, so let's see. I would want to get another gathering post there. I need 4 more tents, which means I need 40 more wood. It's already 1600. 1800 is such an early, so that's probably going to be my next law. Okay, so after emergency shift, which is already a bad time, but can be essential, especially with some of these tougher scenarios. After that is extended shifts, which is 12-hour shifts, which, you know, listen, I already work 12-hour shifts, okay? I work 12-hour shifts at nighttime. If my life depended on it, I'd probably be working 18-hour shifts to like gather coal, to just hit a rock in the cold and make sure that my family is warm. Yeah, I'd work 18-hour shifts. I don't know why that seems like it's such a hard idea for some people. Like, yeah, you do the shit that needs to get done for you to live, especially in an environment like this. Some of these like survival games, I always like to be like, oh, what would I do? Would that be that important? And at this point, yes, the fuel that keeps my city alive is the most important thing. Yes, absolutely. I should probably take pride in myself for working the coal mines. And just short. We need 4 more wood. We got about a day. Hey, yeah, we need food. We haven't even done food production yet. And that takes wood. So I could put another, like, gathering post right next to this, into this one. Full prizes. Hey! Because right now they're eating, where's my food at? They're eating raw food. We have no food rations, and they went 2 days without it. So let's speed this night up real quick. Excuse me. Let's speed it up real quick. Midnight, just free time. So you're thinking like, oh, how are you gonna get food in this kind of environment, right? Like, how are they gonna like discover food. If you build a certain thing called a scouting tower, I think that's what it's called, the Scouts Tower. There is an overworld to this, and there's hunting parties that can go out and grab food for you. There's also people that can go out and explore the surrounding areas that are around your camp and your city. Those surrounding areas may have unexpected consequences and results for discovering them. There could be dire consequences to them too. Everything is a gamble in this game. And whether you are just going to focus your production on housing or food production or what have you. Let's just go very fast right now so we can start the workday. We're going to wait for the wood to come back up. Our steel production is probably going to overcompensate our wood production, but it's because I'm going to be focused on that. We probably should do a cookhouse. We probably should do a hunter's hut. But it's 20 wood. We have cold people still. Need about 30 wood. We're building, let's see. We have about 84 wood a day. So we should be able to produce enough wood to compensate both the 30 wood needed for tents and the 20 wood needed for cookhouse. That being said, let's go ahead and build this next to last tent. Should have space for 2 tents there. I have space for 1 tent. There's going to be a neighborhood that's going to be a little colder than the rest. Which is okay, because the Steam Level 2 actually expands this out another radius. Now, this coal pile is starting to dwindle. We start expanding out to these coal piles, however, it's going to start getting very touchy, and we're going to have to start researching ways to get other ways to gather coal. Excuse me. So we'll have only 10 houseless, tentless people. But they will be housed here. They're going to be insulated enough to keep them from being sickly, but it'll help. So I think what I want to do is have a food district and research district probably around that area, or maybe behind the children's house, because the children's going to be helping out with the research. Yeah, now we have hungry people, so we need to get that food production. There we go. We have raw food, so we can make the raw food into whatever we decide. Hunting parties will make food. So we should be okay. A note of thanks. We just want to thank you. Back in London, it was only the wealthy that didn't have to send their kids to work. In the new world, you're creating we can see things will be different. Again, hope the rise slightly. Excuse me. So this doesn't really affect like the productivity or anything of your people. However, if your discontent rises above 75% and you do not lower it at a specific time, you will be overthrown and people will kill you and will throw you out and exile you, which is death in this world. So once this is under construction, I will put my engineers working there for right now until I can pull workers out from somewhere else. We have 12 hungry, 13 hungry, and it's rising. 3 sick, but not grave. So, very low chance of falling ill still. Not too worried about that right now. However, we do have an ability to make a medical post, and that's probably what we're going to be doing next. We'll be building it like this. it's not technically connected to the road, it will be with that. So I'm going to put my engineers to do that. We are making 16 standard meals an hour. One food ration, or yeah, it's going to get eaten up. This number should be going down very, very soon. We're out of wood. We're out of wood. We're out of wood. We're out of wood. Where are we out of wood at? Where are we out of wood at?
Night is coming. Put down your tools.
Don't put down your tools. We're out of wood somewhere. We need wood. Where's the wood? So tech is where we're going to be doing this. And that's going to be essential as well. But first, let's worry about the basics. So let's get our people treated. You really should be doing like mandatory overtime. You're cooking food for people. They're not starving yet, so that's good. But, however, you're cooking. People are going to be hungry for multiple days, not just the day that you're working. So if we look at the comfortability level, they are in livable areas, even the tents that are out here. However, the temperature is about to drop, and I don't have any research that's going to help them stay warm from outside the generating area. I can provide heaters. There's a little like... Why does that do that? By clicking on the arrow to the left and the right in the upper part of the building panel, you can quickly cycle through all the buildings at the same time. Okay. We know about food hunger. Weather changes. Yeah, I've already touched worse about that. And the workforce, and we've already touched base about that. So the good thing is, it's only going to drop by 2 levels for about 2 days. And on the by the end of the second day, it'll rise by a level. So it'll go back to negative 30. Excuse me, it'll go back to negative 30 degrees Celsius, which is a lot more sustainable. Okay, before I click this and just be crazy, we're gonna go sign this emergency shift so I can get extended shifts. Extended shifts are the key to survival. I don't care who tells you what, extended shifts are the only way to survive in this apocalypse. So, you gotta record resource depot. So resource depot is just an area to store your overstocked stuff, which comes in handy because eventually we'll be carrying too much coal or too much steel or too much wood, and we won't have anywhere to put it other than a resource depot. So the next thing, so this is just going to be like, hey, this is the basic stuff you need, and then we'll get into the survival stuff. We'll need to build a hunter site just to progress the story a bit. The good thing about a hunter site, the workers there, they don't need the insulation. They don't have to worry about cold. They'll go out and they'll hunt for deer, caribou, moose, elk, whatever, and they'll bring it back without any injury, without any issue. So let's keep going. Let's go to, an hour before free time. Going with this for a while, I'd say. Yeah, the hopes are up. Yeah, until the weather drops. Yeah, this is going to be too cold to operate in. Which means that these guys are in the, the hazardous zone. These guys are still chilly. This just so happens to be more insulated than the tents, obviously. We're going to be like this for 2 days, remind you. So, cookhouse is not going to be operable for 2 days. If I was smart, I would have built the tech already, the research station, the workshop, and would have already gotten that. That also means that these are now in the cold temperature environment. So there are going to be a lot more sick people. I wouldn't say it's always inevitable, because if you were smarter than me, you probably would have been able to prevent that. But I am going to leave this here, kind of on a cliffhanger. Our first temperature drop to negative 40 degrees Celsius. You've already gotten a taste of what is Frostpunk. You've already kind of gotten the feel of the ambiance. This is an amazing game, and it starts ramping up very, very quickly from here on out. I'm going to leave you here. I will pick right back up on it tomorrow, so stay tuned. We'll look for the next video. I will see you guys later. Pray for little John Jackman, and make sure that he is nice and safe in his cozy little tent and not going to die from hypothermia at his gathering post. Good night, everybody. Stay safe, stay lovely. I love you. Oh, like, share, comment, subscribe, make sure you hit the bell. All that jazz. Thank you guys. Goodbye.